we're here. Welcome back. I don't know if I've released anything before this because I've been in Florida. Not that no. And I don't think I'm planning on releasing anything before this. So, it's been about a week, but I'm here today with a very good guest. I'm hyped to have you on, bro. Seriously, it's we haven't talked in a while, but I know that you were boys with my brother. You were friends with all my other friends. We had marine bio together in high school, and you were a clown in that class. You were so funny. But yeah, dude. I mean, we got Eddie Cruz here. How's it going, man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. So, I think the buzz with you right now, that pretty much the whole town, and pretty much, I mean, I'd say all of Connecticut, all of whoever just saw, was that sick ass commercial where you're saying that sick ass poem, that rhyming poem, and what was it called again? Something CT.
The state I'm in. It was the state I'm in.
The state I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was sick.
Dude, man.
What did that? So, dude, like, can you please tell me the process of how exactly you auditioned for that, got picked for that,
yeah,
how
man.
exactly that happened? Because, dude, that's literally. I mean, I looked at everyone and their mom commented on it. Freaking, dude, it was sick. Like, I'd say you were like the first person. It's like, holy shit, I know that guy, and he's repping CT right now. How did that feel?
Yo, the outpouring of like love and just kindness that everyone's been throwing my way is unbelievable. It's like humbling as anything.
Yeah.
And oh, hey, buddy. These dogs are my
Prince.
new best friends, man.
Yeah.
I'm normally scared of them.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. No, you can keep talking now.
But how that came about was I work a lot with Hartford Stage, this regional theater company, and one of the ladies working.
No, yeah, keep going.
One of the ladies working over there, Rachel Alderman. Shouts to Rachel. She hit me up with. She was basically like, there's this member of our board,
Right.
Who's a member of like this tourism board in Connecticut, and they're looking to have someone lead this commercial. And I didn't think much of it. I was honestly, I kind of get, intimidated by offers like that. Like,
yeah,
I've worked with Hartford Stage before, and I'm so thankful, but I'm always kind of like, what if this doesn't work out? What if I'm like wasting my time, whatever. But I reached out to, I think it was someone. Adams and Knight was the company producing the actual ad.
Yeah.
And I had an audition with them on Zoom, which was weird. That's basically like the way things have been going the last like year and a half.
Yeah.
A lot of Zoom auditions.
Yeah.
A lot of like first meetings, interviews on Zoom, which, I'm thankful. My brother Leo was there to like kind of, help me with it because he put me at ease. He like helped me record my video. I did not a cold read, but I did an audition for them on Zoom, like I said.
Do you want to tell people what a cold read is, just in case anybody doesn't know what that is?
So the audition video I had was basically I had just received the script, the final ad that they wanted read, and excuse me, and I basically, I gave myself like a half hour to kind of like read through it, make sense of it, and that first reading, like that first video I took was a cold read. It's the first time kind of getting acquainted with the material, kind of seeing what sticks out to you as like the actor, and I kind of use it as an opportunity to find like the important words and stuff. So
yeah.
They were very clear about like the rhyme scheme,
right?
So I had to make sure to hit the rhyming words they wanted me to hit. I had to make sure to not let everything kind of run together. And that kind of came together in the actual shooting process, but the audition process was very much me being like, people always,
When you were done, did you have to get like a callback, or like, holy shit, like you're the guy?
Well, initially the video I took was just me submitting it, and that was just going to be that. They called me for that audition with them on Zoom, and that was the callback, and I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
So here I am, like, basically, like, pissing myself, worried that I'm, like, not going to book this thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, we liked your video. We like what you're bringing to it. I waited another, like, day, I think, before they were like, you're our client's first choice. So
right.
I booked that. I honestly, again, like, it's so funny thinking, like, these jobs just kind of present themselves, and, you know, sometimes you might not think much of it, and it becomes this thing thing I'm in. Sometimes, you know, people think that they're going to be on, like, the next pilot to be number one on CBS, and that doesn't fucking work out. So I'm really thankful. I'm really blessed to be able to have this, like, kickoff year for my career, man.
So what's next for you? Do you have, like, what's your aspirations? What's because I know when you said so what I usually have when I want people. Well, what are you yawning for? No, but what I usually say for people when I think you said, if I can think, stop it. I think, hold on, I'm trying to think. Okay, so when I normally have people on for the podcast, I normally say, okay, what do you want to talk about?
Word.
And you filled out saying you want to shoot shit about, like, WWE, which I would love to. You said you wanted to talk about, I think, movies and, like, what, like, storylines and certain things like that.
Yeah.
And I forget one more. I forget what else you said. But regardless, yeah, so try and talk to the people about, like, what your aspirations are and, like, what's next for you. Hold on. I gotta calm this dude down.
No, you good.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm of the opinion that jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing that people throw around is kind of, in my opinion, it's a joke. Like, I have my hands in so many different pies. I have so many different, like, dreams for myself. Like, I've wanted, this sounds, like, cringy as, like, a 22-year-old to say, but I've had aspirations of being a pro wrestler since I was, like, 10 years old. Like, I don't got the body. I don't have the athletic ability. Like, none of that. But I just love the atmosphere that's created. And I think part of the reason, like, I've stuck with acting this long is the environment of, you know, in a theater. Theaters and sets are, like, way different, because in a theater you can feel that kind of connection between those people on the stage. It's almost more believable to an extent, because if someone gets hit on stage, it doesn't have to look real for you to be like, damn, that dude got decked.
Yeah.
But if someone gets hit in a movie, it's, you know, it's part of the convention. That hit is in a movie for a reason, and there's, like, 4 or 5 different ways to shoot it. They have, like, a whole day probably set aside to get that hit looking exactly right.
Right.
On stage, you get, like, 10 seconds.
What got you into acting? Because I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Being in college.
Yeah.
And taking an acting class, and, like, holy shit, this is fun.
Yeah.
But you also grow up and you see these movies and shows, and you, at that point, you already know the general aspect to things. You just gotta learn the basics.
Yeah.
You just gotta sort of master the basics. But to be a kid and you're like, you know what? Because were you in practically all the high school plays, or were you in everyone, or missed, like, a couple?
I missed freshman year. They were doing the play Emma, which I had not heard of until I got to college, and Grease. And then sophomore year, they were doing Flowers for Algernon, which was probably still one of the best plays that they ever did at Newington High.
Wow.
And Pippin. That was my first show.
Yeah. So yeah, like, how old were you when you were like, dude, I want to do this? Because, you know, you're in high school, and, you know, it's funny because at the time, I didn't really appreciate it as much. I mean, me personally, you know, you have people who they aspire to be on Broadway, and they aspire to the whole play aspect of things. You know, I always say to my friends, you know, in a kidding way, like, well, not really a kidding way, but if I were to somehow become an actor or, like, get a gig for something, it would be because I'm doing, like, funny skits on my own and shit like that. And someone's like, dude, like, you're funny. We want you. I wouldn't really necessarily want, I wouldn't really necessarily want, how do I say this? To be in a play. Like, I took acting 1 and 2. I think he wants to see you.
Oh, what's up, man? What's up, little dog? All right, man. Come on. Let's be professional.
No, but I think I took acting 1 and 2 in like my freshman year, second year?
Yeah.
And then I would say that I was like, yeah, I don't want to do these plays.
Right.
Personally, I was kind of like, it's a little too, I don't want to say fruity. That's the complete wrong word. I don't want to say. No, I don't want to say that. No, to me.
No,
to
no,
me.
I got you. I got you.
I was like, I don't want to have to dress up as like Peter Pan or sing along. I'm not really with that. Like, I would, if you were to drop me in a role, drop me in as the dude who gets shot in John Wick. like, let me. Like, I have no problem being an extra.
Yeah.
Let me fucking be the guy who just gets shot in a movie.
And
then my career takes. Yeah. No, seriously, because like, I mean. You know, it's cool and all.
Yeah.
Maybe if I found the right play. Maybe that's what it is. I did improv.
Oh,
I had it was funny as shit.
Yeah.
I truly enjoyed it. But yeah, I just don't think like you might be a fan of Grease. I'm not a fan of Grease.
Oh man, come on. All those what I think is important is the distinction between like musical theater and like plays, right?
Right.
Because there's and not to take anything away from musical theater, I'm a fan. I always have been. Like, it's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But there's this thing that exists in musical theater when the character breaks out into song. It's because their emotions cannot be contained by just words. It has to be music that adds to it, and it kind of the idea is that it propels the story forward. In some cases, it's unbeatable. Like Pippin, for example. I fucking love Pippin. I think it is a brilliant show. It's campy. It's kind of hokey in the sense that it's like a show from like the 70s, and obviously the stuff that they're like, you know, singing about is meaning and existential bullshit or whatever. But plays are different, right? Because you have the opportunity to make it a total like screwball comedy. Like, there's a lot of shows that are rooted in improv but then become like final shows. Like Noises Off is this British show, this British play that's a play within a play. So you're seeing the chaos of backstage occurring on stage.
Yeah.
Like, it's this weird meta kind of deal. But then there's also plays like Angels in America, which is this, you know, surreal look at the second coming of Jesus Christ, who's a gay man affected with AIDS in the 90s. Like, it's nuts. Like, people have the ideas for this shit, and it's nuts. But to my point, like, plays are more about the truth of the situation, the more about accurately depicting life for the people who are watching it behind the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Musical theater kind of doesn't disregard the fourth wall, but it's not as cautious around it.
Yeah.
Because you can have a singer singing directly to the person that the song is to.
Yeah.
And they'll turn out and just start singing to the audience.
Yeah.
My balls.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
This song about their balls and shit.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. Man.
Nah, but honestly, seeing now, me and you, we haven't talked for a while. I think it's fair to say like we're not like close friends or anything. Yeah. But I would say like seeing, maybe for any of your close friends it was surreal, but just I can only imagine what it was like to them. But to me, to see you, and this is, I mean, it's as simple as a freaking like CT slogan.
Yeah.
Like sort of promo video just putting on for Connecticut, and just seeing something like that. It was just like, dude, what the fuck? I know that guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's sick. Like, how many people? Because listen, my as much as I love doing this,
right.
It's not like I got, a million fucking subscribers knocking on my fucking door.
Not yet.
And so not yet.
That's the big word. That's
the
man.
big word. Not yet. No, you're right. You're right. Not yet. But I would say that, just having someone say, dude. Like, just one person. So I have, like, a classroom of people following me. I just see it that way. Right now, I'm at, like 50. That's, like, kind of like a lecturer in college right now. I'm, like, talking to a fucking lecture hall. So just having one of those people just saying, dude, what you're doing is sick. I applaud you for what you're doing. Like, you're very, brave for what you're doing. Like, just being, you're just being you, not being afraid to be you, and letting people listen to you. Like, it's sick.
Thanks.
There's nothing like it. So... You, on the other hand, no. So that's for me, but for you, dude, you were in a fucking like commercial, like a fucking, you know what I mean?
I feel
like everyone's fucking seeing you, and it's like, dude, what? Seriously, no, seriously, because that, and it's only one thing.
Right.
It can only get better from here.
Hey.
It can only get better from a dope ass rhyming fucking poem slogan commercial, which is sick. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And I know you were very bright, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you were very just out there. Like, if you were eccentric. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. Like, if you were in a classroom with me, or you're in a class, like, everyone knew you were in the room, and if you're laughing, you're smiling, everyone's gonna get on board, which is sick.
Thank you, man.
That's so sick. But, yeah, dude. So that happened. And like I said, I can't be any more happy for you. But with that said, I just hit my fucking mic. Nah, but with that said, yeah, dude. So, just to piss off Al a little bit, I want to talk WWE with you before you could talk with him. So me personally,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest What's up? Oh yeah, I'll move up. No, but for me personally, I'm not the biggest WWE. Oh, I used to be a huge fan.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah.
But I would say that recently, for me personally, I think the storylines have gotten weaker.
You're right.
I've lost a lot of interest in terms of me personally. Okay, so they brought back guys like Goldberg. Brought back guys like Edge. And listen, I was at peace with saying, oh, if only their career wasn't so short-lived.
Right.
Even though you know they're legends.
Right.
And like you want it to be that way.
Yes.
And then once they come back, it's sick.
Yeah.
But then once they stay, it's like,
There's
what's the better? Yeah, was it best if they just didn't come back? And now they have stuff like AEW, rivalry, companies and other things going on.
Yeah.
And, right now they literally have, like 3 main guys. Lesnar, Reigns, and Lashley.
Yeah.
And seriously, like, Lashley's cool. I don't even think I've ever seen a Bobby Lashley match.
No,
Lesnar I've seen
sleep
since Lesnar I've seen since 2012, and Reigns I saw when he was with the Shield. But yeah, dude, what's your opinion on WWE right now? Because give me a reason as to why I should come back. Why should I pay attention?
You
shouldn't
go back to WWE, man. Like I'm telling you straight up.
Oh my god,
straight up.
Oh my god.
What you're describing is nostalgia pops, right?
Do you think AEW is better?
Yeah, 100%. Leaps and bounds, bro. If you want a
did you see the who got put through a flaming table? Is that
Cody
Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes. That dashing motherfucker burned his back, yo. Dude, for the love of the game.
Crazy shit. I can't believe when the Attitude Era was going on in WWE. What was the was there like a rating before before it would air?
I'm pretty sure they had to have a rating from at least 96 to about 2002. Because they made a turn to more PG programming around 2002 or 3 through to now. But before that, it was TV 14. That was when they were going head to head with Nitro. So 97, you were seeing at the same time you were seeing DX fucking storming the WCW arena. You were also seeing they also had way more the women now are beautiful and they're kick-ass wrestlers. But back then, any hussy could just walk into a wrestling company and become a star. Because it wasn't so much about their ability as wrestlers. It was more about how fuckable are the women that we're finding to move our product forward. And that's messed up. But that was their opinion at the time.
What the fuck?
So now you got this I think there's a new boom period for wrestling because WWE is the main American attraction, but All Elite Wrestling is, in my opinion, the most sports centric, the most competitive, and the most I think unique wrestling that you can find in America because it's not so much about how. There is an emphasis on the flashiness. You got different schools of wrestling. In Mexico, there's lucha. In Japan, there's a strong style. There's all of these different methods of wrestling. But in North America, All Elite, Impact Wrestling has made a comeback. Ring of Honor's on hiatus. But those companies are kind of where my loyalties lie. The last few years, it has been such an emphasis on bringing back old guys, and Goldberg in particular. Here's a dude who was undefeated. In at the tail end of the 90s, he was the number 1 wrestling star, bigger than Stone Cold, because he had this it was inflated a little bit for the time, but 230 some shit wins, no losses, beating dudes. He had the fucking US title and the world heavyweight title. This fucking bald behemoth, and he comes back 62 years old and nearly kills The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia.
Was that? See, I always thought it was Undertaker who broke Stone Cold's neck.
No, that was.
But
Owen Hart.
it was yeah.
That was Owen Hart.
Yeah.
On an episode of Raw.
Yeah, I always so what did Goldberg do to Taker?
So Goldberg, there's stories about this from people actually within the sphere that know more about it.
Yeah.
But it's, for brevity, like this fucking idiot, this former, he was a former Atlanta Falcon, right? So you know like the types of shit football players do to hype themselves up.
Yeah.
This motherfucker fancied himself a concussion, so he slammed his head on a locker 8 minutes before he's supposed to go out.
Goldberg?
And wrestle. Goldberg.
Listen, me and Abel played football. You ever only the fucking idiots did that. With a helmet, maybe.
Did you do it
maybe.
with a bald-ass cranium?
So when I play, you ever see people? You ever watch? Like, do you watch football or no?
Here and there, yeah.
Here and there, but do you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everyone watches the Super Bowl.
You got
so
to.
yeah, but you ever just in general, you ever just see football players when they get hyped and like hit each other in the head when they're wearing the helmets? And like, yeah.
Man.
If anyone did that to me, I get mad. Like not in a hyped up way. Like, why the fuck would you hit me in the head? I gotta save that for the other people. And even then, I'm not supposed to hit my head with your head.
Dude, man,
so,
you're deleting precious childhood memories at that point. Like, every time you take a severe enough bash to the head.
Through 4 years of high school, my ass might have CTE. I say some dumb shit at times, and I'll just completely slip up.
Out of pocket.
Yeah, I blame it on football. Don't blame it on me. Blame it on football. Nah, but yeah. So what? So he hits his head.
Oh, he hits his head on a locker, comes out. This is Saudi Arabia. Now, mind you, there's a whole deal with the Saudi government currently with WWE, which basically they're gonna have pay-per-views like 6 times a year in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
it's got its own fucking problems, but the main thing, Saudi Arabians love their wrestling. They love traditional wrestling. They love the stars from the 90s. They love all of the older stuff. So Goldberg comes out, has his fucking head bleeding, just hit his head on a locker. Undertaker is like upwards of 60, like pushing upwards of 60.
How bad was the cut? Like did they stitch him up before he went in?
He just had like a little trail of blood. But where it got worse is like they were doing some move where like Goldberg was gonna like spear Undertaker. Undertaker moves out of the way, and homeboy bashes his head now twice in the steel ring post. So motherfucker's concussed.
What the hell?
And because he's this unstoppable, beast or whatever, he has to try and pick up Undertaker for a finishing move. Undertaker's older at this point, so he's not as,
What year was this again?
This was last year. Last year or 2 years ago, tops. And
so right before Undertaker retired?
Right actually after, because he had been...
Because I remember watching Undertaker's retirement thing where he came out into the ring and all that, but this was right before then? Did he just deflate the toy? What the hell, dude?
He's bored of this wrestling talk, yo.
Toy. Yeah. What are you doing? Nah, but yeah, what were you saying?
He had it was Undertaker's like kind of retired and come back like a handful of times. But this Saudi Arabia match most recently was this one. Say it again? 2019. So he came out, he had already been retired for a couple months, but they brought him back because like I said, like the Saudis love their classic wrestling.
Right.
Goldberg picks up Undertaker for this finishing move and like slips basically. And if this is Undertaker's head and head and neck, he lands like that. Like
what
fully head and neck, no shoulder.
I gotta look this up on YouTube. I hate looking at shit like that, but I might have to.
But it's dangerous. But they're bringing back Edge is also back, and Edge supposedly retired from like a career-ending injury in 2012, which is when I started watching.
Right.
And homeboy like is wrestling full time now. He's on the road with his girl, spearing people, falling flat back. Like it's not. This kind of takes away from like ballerina dancers because what they do ain't easy either. But it's not. It's choreographed, but it's not safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The shit that ballerinas do to stay in shape is obviously its own thing.
Yeah.
But wrestlers are constantly like.
Do you think that WWE should have an off season? I believe they should.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know why the hell.
100%.
I don't know why the hell Vince hasn't either come up with that or he hasn't put that in place. Why do you think that is?
There's a union issue. I feel like there's the big story. The big story the last couple years is that WWE particularly. I don't know if AEW is the same way. I actually think they might be the exception to the rule. But WWE has all these guys contracted as independent contractors, which means they're set for like a year, let's say, but they're set for each day that they're contracted. So every Monday, you have to be at a Raw taping. Every Tuesday, you got to be at a SmackDown taping. You got to be like constantly on the road to maintain your status. And then people who get injured,
Yeah.
they get put on the shelf for a couple months. You know, they're not used, but their contract is basically put on pause. So when they come back from their injury, the rest of the time they would have had on their contract is out. Nowadays, though, they're just releasing everybody because the rumor is that WWE's trying to sell. You know, like they're this.
Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen with that?
I don't know. I mean, like they're this multi-million-dollar entertainment company, and Vince is like the scariest Republican ever to exist.
Yeah.
Like more so than Trump, man. That dude got like hatred in his eyes for like anything non-beef. But they've if you look in the last year, they've cut like 60, 70 wrestlers that they had all hired within the last 5 years. So there's this massive push from people in the company to be like, respect us as actual contracted employees because we're fucking falling on our backs for you every week.
Yeah.
And there's the other side of people who are like, well, you know, the way that this has kind of been mutually beneficial for people. You know, they get their health, they get health care, they get this, they get that. So if they're looking to make this entertainment company its own, you know, separate thing, they shouldn't sell. If they're looking to keep the foothold I think they have in North America, they shouldn't sell.
Yeah.
But, you know, Disney would pay a lot of money for, like, cheap violence. You know, you can't say fuck in a Disney movie, but you can, you know, threaten to pulverize someone. You can throw them out of a ring if they don't break their neck. You know? I don't know what Disney would want with a wrestling company. The House of Mouse's death match. I don't know.
What would you say is your favorite match of all time that you could think of?
Off the dome.
Because now I'm like trying to just reminisce. And man, listen, I feel like it went very under the radar. Yeah. Not at the time, but looking back, I don't know if you remember. It was when CM Punk. So, but listen, no, listen. You might not. No, listen, we probably don't have the same match in mind. All right. Just hear me out, because you could probably see it and I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. But for me, it's very under the radar, and it was when he was all cocky and ballsy, the buzz cut and everything, and he tells Cena, and he goes, listen, I already know I'm gonna be facing The Rock at WrestleMania, and he goes, but I'll put my opportunity to do that against the line with you on Monday night, and him and Cena pretty much had this insane match. And whoever wins gets to face The Rock at WrestleMania. Huh. And it was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
This was on Raw?
Yeah, this was on Raw. Like, Cena. I mean, CM Punk just was like, yeah, I know I'm going to face The Rock regardless. And I think it might have been I don't think it was the Royal Rumble. It might have been right, like, post-Royal Rumble.
Got you.
Because I think Cena won the Royal Rumble or something like that. And then the CM Punk was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Something happened. I forget the whole storyline. Maybe I have it twisted. Right. I just remember the winner faces The Rock at WrestleMania. And I mean, yeah, looking back, hindsight's 20/20. Like, The Rock and Cena already had that. They already faced the year, like a couple years before, or they whatever did, it was when The Rock, when the Rock won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rock and then The Rock, and then Cena beat Punk to go face The Rock. And then Cena won that one. And that was funny because I wasn't a fan of when The Rock, you know, bald Rock when he came back. And, you know, if you smell. Like, I was more of a fan of Attitude Era Rock.
Right.
Where, you know, we had the hair and the shades and all that. And pretty much, you know, I wanted The Rock to win that time. But my dumbass should have known, The Rock won before. Yeah. He's not going to win again. But I remember I didn't even stay up to watch that match. I didn't stay up to watch it because I couldn't. And I wake up, and in the fucking newspaper, newspapers were a thing at the time. Not anymore. But literally, I wake up to the news. I just said, I'm not going to have it spoiled. Well, I won't have it spoiled. I wake up, and the newspaper spoiled it for me. It's Cena, like, having him. I was like, bro! I said, I'm going to wake up and rewatch the match. There's no way. Maybe it's just a picture. And I go back, and I remember, so I guess The Rock beat Cena.
Right.
The last time when Cena tried to do the people's elbow.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden The Rock gets up and he rock bottoms his ass and then he just wins.
Yes.
But then I think The Rock tried to do You Can't See Me and then Cena got payback for that. I think that's what it was.
That sounds like the 28-29
Yeah, but I just remember they were busting out each other's moves on one another. I was like, dude, what is going on? And it was so sick.
Then when you watch that shit happen in like a wrestling match where they're doing each other's moves, it's like, oh shit, it's real now. They really fucking hate each other.
Who do you think? Who are your favorite wrestlers of all time, and who do you think's the best? Like top 5.
Okay, so
You could just name out as many as you want for favorite. Do you have like a top 5,
Mount
top 3?
Rushmore,
Yeah.
I think would be Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, yeah.
One of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I think CM Punk, now that he's made a comeback after 7 years, he might be up there just personally for me.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan is
Awesome.
one of the greatest.
Awesome.
Like technical too. Like if you ever, my brothers are both amateur wrestlers, and Daniel Bryan has that amateur technique with his shit, so it looks real, bro. Like,
yeah.
So that's him for me. I want to throw. You know what? I'll throw Bret Hart in there.
Yeah.
Because I think.
You know what's funny? I don't know why I went on this binge of just watching the Bret Hart thing, the Montreal screw job or whatever.
Oh
and I've been watching
God.
it, and for some reason, whenever I'm bored, for no reason, I just throw on Bret Hart's theme song and I just walk around my house. Because the way his theme song goes and it comes out, like before he comes into the ring, it looks like he's always looking for something. When he has the shades on, it's like da na na, and so sometimes I was just when I'm walking around my house and I'm just like, I was looking at my dog.
He's
like,
looking for somebody to test
yeah,
him, bro.
yeah,
That's why he puts his hand up.
No, but I remember playing the video games and vaguely remember the whole screw job thing, but. Looking back, I was like, holy shit. And then, like, when he spat at Vince McMahon, I was like, dude, like, that's real. Dude, Bret Hart's a G.
That's the most real wrestling got, bro. Like, obviously, I was actually watching a documentary about the screw job, and there's a guy, Jim Cornette, who, if you don't know, he's like the most rapid fire, Southern. I think he's from Kentucky. Like Southern Kentucky wrestling boy, and he like has like these like insults that are like years and years old, but they make you laugh. Like, But he was talking about the screw job being like offhand. He made this comment to Vince because they had to. The reason this all happened was because Bret was going to WCW, the main competitor at the time.
Yeah,
he was their number one guy. Had like a 10-year contract, millions of dollars.
Yeah,
and Vince had to get the belt off him to go to WCW. Jim Cornette says offhand, he's like. What? Just fucking double cross him.
Yeah.
And what's he gonna do? Go and run and tell the papers, which is exactly what he fucking did. He was like, they screwed me out of my fake wrestling title. Like, hey man,
That's actually crazy.
No one gives a fuck basically at the time.
What exactly happened again? Vince just said ring the bell when he was getting submit right when Shawn Michaels put him in the sharpshooter. And he never tapped. Mm-hmm. But Vince just goes out there and says ring the bell.
He had to. So the genius behind that, right, is Bret obviously knew something was gonna go down that night, but he went to the referee ahead of time and he was like, yo, if they're gonna fuck me out of my title tonight, I need you to tell me. And the referee and the Hart family had been tight for years. He was like, oh yeah, I got you, man, no worries. Vince came to the referee after that conversation with Bret, saying,
way.
yo, this is how we're gonna do it. So fucking Hebner, the referee, is like all fucked up in the head. Goddamn, Shawn Michaels and Triple H obviously had to know. And Bret was like the only one who didn't. Like none of his boys either. British Bulldog, Owen Hart came out with him. They were like trying to calm him down from beating Vince McMahon on national television. It's just the cartoon nature of that shit is what keeps it appealing. Like that can't happen again. In 2022 it can't happen again. But the writers that they hired to script the shit and the way they can kind of frame it, there's been storylines over the last few years that have been super fucking real. You said CM Punk earlier. This match on Raw he had, the match he had for the WWE title in 2011 was the one I thought you were talking about. Because he legitimately, his contract was up.
Was that when he came out to Cena and like he did the whole thing because he was just pissed off at everybody?
Yes,
and
that was like a month before.
He completely like Cena didn't see it coming, and that was just him being real, saying, "Cena, you're a fucking,
he's
you're
like,
a
I
sellout."
like you. He goes, "I like you, but I'm not supporting this. I'm not supporting this phony ass, say your prayers, take your vitamins, drink your milk shit."
Yeah, so for those who want to know what we're talking about, so yeah, this dude Cena's like on the mic and he's talking. I mean, for those who watch WWE and know what the hell we're talking about, some like they'll have these moments where if matches aren't going on, there's a lot of dialogue, and with dialogue, a star or a wrestler will come out and they'll be on the microphone and they're pretty much talking to the crowd. And so John Cena, I mean, everyone knows John Cena. You don't even need to be a WWE fan. Everyone knows John Cena. So this dude's on the mic and he's pretty much talking. And this dude CM Punk just comes out. It wasn't supposed to happen. There was no, cue for him to go out there. Cena was unaware that he was going to go out there. And he pretty much just sits down, crisscross applesauce, and just takes out a mic and he just pretty much absolutely not only humiliates Cena in front of everybody, he just tells it how it is. He just gives us a rant, and then he just leaves.
Talk shit about the company, too.
Yeah.
He's the line that sticks even today as, like, this massive, like, premonition. I'd like to... CM Punk says, I'd like to think this company will be better when Vince McMahon's dead. But the fact of the matter is it's going to get worse. And that happened in the live crowd who's hearing this for the first time is like, oh, my God! Oh, he said Vince is going to die!
Yeah.
He's mentioning people who are indie wrestlers that are his friends, like, on national TV. Like, this is what I mean when I'm like, you know, I've had dreams of doing this shit since I was a kid. That, you can't replicate that, man. Like, that connection. He became one of the biggest stars in the industry just by being this anti-hero, tattooed, kind of schlubby, with all respect, you know, looking dude. And, you know, a guy who was never supposed to have, you know, the company's main prize, the support of the company behind him. That kind of, you know, pure, genuine underdog story is kind of like, it sounds weird to say it, but like I love that for my career. I would love for that to happen. Like I not to take anything away from where it is we're from, but like there's not a ton of like name recognition that comes out of Newington, Connecticut.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, with the exception of Tommy Doyle, who you had on the other day,
yeah.
which I would listen to that shit and I was like, I knew that he was a Roblox player, but I didn't know like the intricacy of like the collectibles and all that shit. Like, that's another name that like quickly Newington is becoming unique. And I love the idea, you know, I can be, you know, somewhat of an underdog, like somewhat of someone who, you know, my belly's just a little big, my hiney's just a little big, but I'm bad and they know I'm bad. That's Dusty Rhodes for you plebs.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that there's something that can come out of this like small town feel that we've had. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Connecticut is a weird, like, as much as I love CT, I mean, not really, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to politics, but, like, I know that CT's like, I know that, you know, we're in a lot of fucking debt and this and that, so you hear it all the time.
Issues.
Yeah, but I swear, it's kind of obvious, but it's weird. Like, you ever watch a TV show and they go, oh, yeah, you know, we just drove past Connecticut. And then it's like, because how often do you hear Texas in shows, you'll hear Florida, but I swear to God, once in a blue moon you hear Connecticut and it's just like, whoa. Like, that's what you know. Like, that's what you know we're small. Like, WWE, its headquarters are in Connecticut.
Right.
Like, its birthplace was Connecticut. But when you hear the name Connecticut and like, big market or platform things, it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't make sense. So, as much as I love Connecticut, I mean, it is hard to, because when you hear like, for example, the D'Amelio sisters, they are from what, Litchfield?
Yo,
someplace.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're from Connecticut.
Fucking Charlie and Dixie.
Yeah, they're from. Yeah.
I am dead, yo. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're from CT. So to see that happen, it's like, whoa. I guess maybe anybody can make it, but
anyone can.
I mean, but they did take advantage of TikTok before it blew up, which is, you know, it's hard to find trends and catch it in stride. You know what I mean?
Well, let me build you up for a second. Man.
Okay.
Because what I think is really unique about your podcast in particular is like I said, this is a small town feel, but you are giving people that I recognize from my time in high school, people that I recognize maybe didn't have the chance to say much to. I was always really good about knowing people's names and saying hi to them in the hallway, even if I wasn't like tight with them.
Yeah.
But giving them the opportunity to explain where they're at, where they've been, you know, the kinds of things that make them excited about life, you know, I think that's a really cool. You're basically painting a picture of your hometown with the hope that people are gonna find it as interesting as you do, and that's the coolest thing to me, man. Like the breadth of having like Linkmon, like, or, you know, Bappy, like you were talking before, like, I think that getting on the Spotify train, anyone can throw a podcast up on YouTube. Throw a camera in the middle of a room with your boys, and you don't even have a mic. You're just shooting the shit.
You're just sitting
on the table.
You just put the camera on, you just take a fat shit.
Just a big poop.
Yeah.
I love how old we get as men, like, just a poop joke, a well-timed poop joke will never fail.
No.
Like, but it's really, interesting, the fact that you're able to like bring people into your space and just paint this really nice portrait of like the town you're from. It's you know, people are like sitting at their computers wondering what the $1 million idea that's gonna fall from the sky into their lap is gonna be. You just made that shit yourself.
Yeah.
You know, them D'Amelio sisters, yeah, they got TikToks and, you know, some dance talent. That's so disrespectful to the D'Amelios. I'm sorry.
You know what? I will say this. One of my favorite things I've ever seen. It was, I guess, one of the sisters had some videos. She's like, "Hey, my name is this." And she's dancing. You know what I'm talking about, Abel? She's like dancing. She's saying, "Hey, my name," and while she's like introducing herself, she's just like doing these weird ass dance moves. And then KSI made fun of it. He made fun of it. I saw some clip on TikTok. I'm not gonna say what he said. Oh no. He goes no, because it's not as bad. I mean, it's fucked up, but it's funny. He goes he's like, "Hey, my name is KSI." And he's like, and I have AIDS. Yes, that's it. I have AIDS. And it was so. And I remember seeing that, and I was fucking crying. I was laughing so hard. No, seriously though. I mean, I do have now. I always said I'll never get TikTok. Abel can attest this. I'll never get TikTok. I'll never do this. Now, I have TikTok. I have TikTok. Listen, I have TikTok. And I will say, I'm starting to use it at a moderate pace. I'm not like...
moderate to severe.
Yeah. No. I do watch a decent amount. And I will say, there's a lot of funny shit on there. But there's some stuff that's still cringy to me.
Yeah.
Certain trends, certain things like that. But I will say, there's this one chick who dances. You might know who I'm talking about. She dances in, like, I don't know if it's LA, Cali, New York City, but she just has these crazy, it's just her. And she'll dance in the middle of the street and, like, everyone's just walking by her looking like she's an idiot or something. Right. First of all, I think she's a good dancer. Yeah. I think she's hot as hell, like, if I'm just being completely real. And I just think it's dope. Like, she's confident doing what she's doing. And she'll also have these moments where she'll put herself next to a TV and like mimic something from a music video, and like she'll do all the dance moves to a T. I think that's pretty impressive.
That's talent.
But you're also she's at like she has like millions of likes, I think. So to see that, I mean, I respect that.
Right.
That's your bread and butter. That's your hustle. That's what you're gonna be doing to make, like, that's your career right there. And I'm sure she has other aspirations. But to just be like, you know what, this is what I like. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it in front of people. And I'm gonna show what I do to people. I respect that. So when it comes to this, like you said, sure. I mean, I love my town. I love where I'm from. But I do personally want it to, you know, break the barrier of beyond.
Branch out.
Connecticut, exactly.
Word.
Because, you know, this is great and all, but I want to get to a point where there's someone who has like 100,000+ subscribers, and I can hit them up, and they're like, "Holy shit! Like, I know you. I wanna, hell yeah, let's do it." And I'm like, "Dude, holy shit! I want to get to that point."
Abel,
and
get the D'Amelios on the phone right now, man. I swear to God.
I'm sure it'll take time though.
Yeah.
I'm in no fucking rush. Believe me, I'm in no fucking rush. You know, but you know, like I said, this town's great and all, but I do want there to be someone from fucking, I don't know, Oklahoma.
Right.
And they're like, "Holy shit.
What does an Oklahoman sound like?"
And they're like, "Holy shit, like, you're Big Fudge.
Yeah.
Dude, what up? Like, holy shit." You know, there's someone from East Bumfuck, and they're like, "Holy shit, dude. Like, you're saying," like, that I feel like would really mean a lot more, because I've already had the sample size of people I know already saying good job, this and that, and it's great and all. I love it. I really appreciate you guys. If you're watching, listening, appreciate everybody. But I think for someone I don't even know, because you ever watch a YouTuber and it feels like they're your, not like brother or dad or anything, but you feel that bond.
It's way closer.
You feel that bond. And I don't know if you know guys like Markiplier, or do you know Dashy? Dashy
I don't
Games?
know Dashy, no.
Okay, but guys like Markiplier.
Yeah.
Jacksepticeye. I don't know. Name Vanoss Gaming. Name them. I've been watching them since I was... I'm 21 now. I'm watching them since I was like 11, 12. That's like a 10-year, you know, viewership thing. And it's crazy because we might not necessarily know them as a person. We know them more as an entertainer. Yeah. But you feel that bond.
Well, you see them every day.
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of like content creation, I feel like. And again, like what you're doing well is like you create it so that people see it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that dude Markiplier, he didn't start with like the intention of having like a massive fan base. He just started it with the intention of like, this is what
Do you know what we're talking about? Yeah, if you actually go back,
Yeah.
he just had his computer and he's just and it's funny, all the big time YouTubers now, they started when you can't see their face. They just say what up, it's so or whatever, and they'll give their little intro and then they'll just play and you're just pretty much watching gameplay,
right?
But you don't see their face. Now all the big time YouTubers or the professional streamers, you see their face in the corner, and if they're in the way, they'll like move it, they'll have great editing skills or whatnot. But like I said, like that. So it's crazy because if I were to hit up Markiplier or meet him in person, I'd say, what up? And he would have no idea who the fuck I am. But I'd probably liked 1,000 of his videos,
right.
Subscribed to him for years. And so, I mean, listen, I don't want, just because I appreciate support and all, that doesn't mean I want somebody outside of my fucking house. Like, oh my God.
You're Mario.
Yeah, Mario, come outside. I don't want, no, that would creep me the fuck out. Do not do that. Do not fucking do that. I can't. Do not do that. I'll be so creeped out. Yeah. I'm gonna be fucking dead before I can't make another fucking video. I'm gonna be fucking dead. I'm gonna be so fucking scared. But I do appreciate support. But yeah, I mean, wouldn't that also be kind of not humbling, gratifying when you finally have your own personal stalker? So you know you made it. You know what I also said? I also said to somebody, I said, I wonder if it ever gets to a point where I have bots commenting on my Instagram, is that when I know I made it?
Yo, I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I have bots I've had bots who commented, I've had bots who follow me, and personally, I just block them. Nope, block. Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Right.
But if I get my very first account, and it's like, hey, hit up check out my story, and for $200 you can have a. If I get one of those comments, is that when I made it? Is that when I know I made it? Because should I even delete it, or should I just leave it there? Because I feel like all the big time people, they just leave those comments because they don't have to, because they just keep coming. You can't stop it.
You can't.
It's inevitable. It's like Thanos. It's inevitable. You just have to accept it and let it be.
Right.
So. I mean, I just want to, make this be clear for those who are listening or watching. Look, I'm gonna what do I do here? Maybe you know the fucking answer and I don't. But if I got comments constantly rolling of all these fucking bots,
right?
That's Instagram's one. I can't spend all day trying to. They're just gonna keep coming back. All right, so I don't know what the fuck to do, but.
Dude, posting audition videos, like, 'cause that's the other thing, is you gotta YouTube is YouTube and Dropbox, I'm pretty sure, are like the main platforms to kind of like submit yourself to places that are holding productions.
Yeah.
So like Dropbox, you can't really comment or anything. You just upload it, send it, forget it. YouTube, I have had videos where out of laziness, I'll make it a public video. So in case like the audition doesn't go well, I can like rename it, and I have like just I have footage of myself from my website.
Okay.
And what'll happen from time to time is this like unrecognizable language will pop up, and I'm pretty sure it's a name, but in English, I don't know where they find this like italicized typeface, but they're like, come fuck sexy horny 20-somethings in your area.
Whoa.
And I'm like, this is a video of me singing.
Yeah.
This is a video is a video of a monologue from a play, and it's horny fucking grannies want to peg you in your area. It's like, God damn, these grannies don't have a fucking job.
Dude, listen. Now, I'm sure millions of other people do this. On Sundays, my team, I'm a Bengals fan. I can't watch every game. We live in the New England area. The Patriots are going to be on every fucking week. Every week. They're going to be on every week. So I am not going to spend a fucking $100 a month on a fucking NFL package. So I do what most fucking Americans do, and I stream that shit. I watch that shit, and I find a stream, and I watch it. And so whenever I fucking go to those streams, I had to get ad blocker. Thank you, Abel. I'm gonna get the ad blocker. Because every fucking 2 seconds, I'm watching this full screen game, and all of a sudden, hey, Becky, 2 miles away, what the fuck? And I'm just like, no, X, and they just keep coming. And I'm like, well, what are the people watching me? And as soon as I'm online, they're like, oh yeah, 2 miles away. I want to, no. That was fucking, man, and I swear, man, I'll say this, I'll be damned if I have a kid And I swear to God, if they fucking enough their computer and they get a virus, and it's that lottery shit, you just want a free trip to the Bahamas and $1 million, you just a click away. Man, you gotta teach the youngins about the bots, because especially now, I wasn't taught about bots. I had to learn on my. I mean, I never fell for it because I was like, who the fuck's just gonna give me $1 million? I just kind of knew better, but yeah, no, you got.
I definitely didn't have that awareness when I was that age, man. I gave my dad so many irreversible computer diseases, man. I'm pretty sure I gave my dad the computer equivalent of like testicular cancer because that fucking computer never worked the same.
Yeah.
Y'all remember Pop Tropica?
Yeah. Oh, loved it. Loved it. Yeah.
That shit gave me like irreversible damage, yo. Like I could not load. It was our family computer, right? We couldn't. I'm pretty sure they had those pop-ups too, where it was like, you know, not Becky wants to fuck or nothing, but like free popsicles and like 6 miles.
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like, oh, let me redeem my free popsicles.
Oh,
definitely
shit.
ruined that computer, man. Like we grew up like with the trial by fire kind of thing. Like we've been on the internet for longer than we haven't.
Yeah.
Our parents are like,
true.
My dad's from a time where he's like, oh yeah, I don't know how we got around without cell phones.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Like he would be like 6 years old, fucking 10 miles away from his house.
We're very dependent on our phones for GPS and stuff because, you know, back then I'm sure lots of people, they had to memorize the route because, you know, you hear parents all the time, they'll say this street. This I'm on this part of the highway, you know, this, like me, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. People talk to me all the time, oh, I'm on Route 91, and I'm like, okay. And I say okay, and I'm like, okay.
Good for you.
Good. Where the fuck are you? Like, I don't know. So, yeah, I was really talking about this the other day before I went to the airport because, you know, we were on this highway, and, you know, one of my family members was saying, oh, yeah, you know, we're on this route, you gotta take this exit and stuff, and I'm just like, maybe I should actually try and learn where I'm trying, because you know when you're on the highway and you look up and you could see, you know, the numbers, the routes, all that shit. I mean, I'll look up and I'll know, okay, this is my exit, but I'll never memorize, okay, that's where this is. I need to work on that. That's a life skill, because if let's say this is a major EMP and all of our phones just die, you know, I feel like everyone's gonna be fucking hit.
I'm staying home.
Just stay home. You're fucking nasty.
My heart rate climbed just at the mention of that. I was like, I gotta live without my phone. How do I get around?
You know what I always talk about sometimes? I always say, what if there was a zombie apocalypse, and what would you do, especially in this town? Me personally, I always say, I'm not going to the grocery stores. That's also, I feel like, a general thing, because like that's like a battlefield. Like, it's a war zone right there. Never mind the zombies. Abel's gonna try and fucking kill me for some fucking Gogurt. It's like, it's my Gogurt, bitch. It was I gotta stay away from the stores. But I don't know. Sometimes I'd be thinking.
I feel like Wallace would be a decent place to hide out because it's got like, you know, it's that like center fortress with like 8 branches and you just barricade all that shit like.
Well, right on the the black. No, that's Patterson, the blacktop.
Yeah.
So for Wallace, where in Wallace? Like inside, or?
I would say, because if you're in the library, right? I don't know how much the people. I'm from Wallace. I think you went to Wallace.
Yeah, that's our town middle school.
You went
to? Yeah.
I was there for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were you exchanged to someplace better?
Caltech. I was at
He was at our rival middle school.
Oh, you at the middle school that had the funding for musicals and shit.
I just want to say,
madrigal choir.
Yeah, Abel, I just want to say, we cleaned your shit and battled the books.
No, you didn't.
We cleaned this shit. Bro. Listen, I was my team was this fucking close to making it to the next round. And we fucking lost on the stage, like, in our own school. Yeah. But man, I've never since then have I ever talked so much shit about reading and competition. I mean, I was walking around like, hey, did you memorize chapter 7? All right.
In Kellogg.
I did.
In Kellogg,
yeah.
I got first. My team got first place.
Yeah.
And we went to like the state, like, you know, Newington one.
The state battle of the books.
Not the state. The Newington one against Wallace.
Yeah. Right.
And we got 4th place. I was so mad.
You fucking stink.
I was so mad because they gave the worst questions ever.
Yeah.
And I was like,
man, we read this crazy book. It was. Oh my gosh! Maybe another time I'll have to try and go look for what exactly we had to read. It was a really good book, though. I do remember that. It was a good ass book. And I remember actually sweating to remember everything. I had flashcards the whole night. Bro, I was genuinely sweating. I wanted to clean Kellogg. I wanted to clean their shit. I'm being honest. We didn't make it to the next round, but, Battle of the Books is fun, man. I'm not going to lie. I want to get into reading again.
Dude.
I really do.
That was the time when they made reading fun, though, is when you add competition to the
Yeah.
fucking mix. Anything, I feel like in middle school, there's such a desire to prove yourself that the most minute, if they had a fucking, and now for the yearly toilet cleaning games, like fucking you get like, I've been cleaning toilets for fucking 6 months building up to this with a toothbrush and toothpaste.
Yeah.
I don't fuck around. Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of dedication you get from like little kids, and it works. Like, there's plenty of people who are on those fucking reading teams that still read.
Yeah.
I read the occasional Instagram comment and I fucking sweat that. I'm like, Jesus fucking, like, I don't have the attention span, I feel like. Plays I have to read through and kind of get acquainted with, but with like novels and stuff, putting myself in that world has always been like difficult. Because I'm always like just struggling, like my eyes can't stay open, or I'm like, oh, I gotta go fucking, take out my dog or make a sandwich because I'm hungry, can't read on an empty stomach type shit. Like,
have you ever been afraid to perform? Like, or have you always just been like, oh, I'm in my element. Like, this is nothing to me.
I get severe anxiety, like 10 minutes out from a show.
But would you say because you love it more than, like, you love, your passion for it outweighs that fear?
I need it. I like the.
You need the fear.
It's the double-edged sword, right? Because I don't feel like I'm at my best unless I'm operating with some semblance of fear. That just like makes you better. Like the fear of, at least in my opinion, like the fear of fucking up makes me better.
Wow.
So
because for some people the fear of fucking up makes you fuck up even more. Yeah.
And that's definitely happened to me before too. Like I did a show over the summer. It was a Shakespeare, and I was the clown. So if for those of you who paid attention for that 10-minute period in your English class junior year, As You Like It is that play with it's basically the same plot as Twelfth Night. There's a girl who's in love with this guy, and she doesn't know how to fucking make him love her, so she dresses up like a man and teaches him how to love a woman.
What the hell? That's
Dude, it's dank.
Wow.
I love it.
Who the hell came up with that?
Well, I mean, there's debate as to whether or not Shakespeare was one person or 5 people, but I feel like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That kind of like weird shit. He definitely had like a kink.
I heard something that the man was in love with himself.
Huh?
I heard that he was like a crazy narcissist.
This definitely possible.
Yeah,
I mean,
I heard that he genuinely like loved himself. Like he looked at the mirror, was just like, you ever just looking at me? Listen, I looked at a mirror getting ready for a wedding, had to dress up, and sometimes I like do this like to be all right, we're ready. But never have I ever looked in the mirror and said, "Damn, you looking like a snack."
You don't build yourself up.
Yeah.
Like, damn, young, sexy out this bitch, yo.
Yeah, but that's a very interesting plot.
Yeah. So we were doing that show over the summer, and I had this weird feeling. I had been doing it so much that I started worrying that I was forgetting stuff.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of where I caught myself, because right before a scene I had, I was like, oh shit, what's the line there?
Yeah.
Fuck, what is it? And then by the time I had like figured it out, it's my time to come on. So I come on and I'm like doing the scene. Gets right to the part where I forgot. And what do? I pause for a second. I say the same line I just said, and I go, look at me. A bunch of old people wearing masks and shit are looking at me like, I don't know. What did you do?
Yeah.
And it moved. I think the good thing about theater is like when that happens, you can either, fold and have a like nervous breakdown in front of people, or you can move on from it, and people are not going to be any wiser. Like with Shakespeare in particular, you could be like, you can vamp, you can, as long as you kind of like follow the rhythm of the words, you're good. With something like modern speak, like if you were to try and transcribe this conversation that we're having and someone didn't get it exactly right cadence wise, that could fuck them up. That fear is what is able to get me, like, I rehearse the rhythm of how shit sounds in my head. I remember the most important words of a sentence. I'm constantly thinking about, like, why I'm moving a certain place, where I'm moving to.
To be honest, when I was taking acting, I think memorizing was actually easier than I thought it would be.
It definitely
Because it's like a song.
Mm-hmm.
The more you sing a song, the more you hear it, the easier it becomes to remember. I just saw Tick Tick Boom recently, and I just saw the song Therapy
Yes.
is all over.
Yes.
And dude, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I'm not gonna say I thought it was like the whole, because I'm not big into musicals.
Right.
But there was something about this movie that interests me, especially that song,
Mm-hmm.
the whole back and forth, and I memorized the whole fucking thing.
Yes.
I did, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel bad that like the whole. It's so I can't stop listening to it.
Dude.
It's just so. And I'm sure that the whole mannerisms, along with trying to keep up with speed and the change of flow and that whole thing is insane. And now that was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting plot. For those who haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I saw it on my flight. It was so good. Dude, it was such a good movie.
What's beautiful about that in particular, and it's actually like that and Bo Burnham's Inside, the last like few months have kind of been getting me through like this weird period, because I'm thankful to be working, but I'm not working to the degree that college acting school made it seem like
right.
I would be. So here are two guys who just like created the story of their life or their life at that time and dramatized it and made it this like genuine raw kind of deal. And Tick Tick Boom, like that guy's story is so fucking sad. Like before the play,
so the guy puts in countless hours. The dude loses. He couldn't pay his electricity bill because he was sweating this. And then as soon as he finally thought his grand idea was gonna come to the forefront and be put onto Broadway, they were like, "Now you got to do another one."
Yeah.
And that's kind of a brutal reality of trying to make it big in this world, especially in the acting world. It's a brutal, rough business, and you got to be able to humble yourself. You want to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio, but you might have to start off being in a fucking like a Geico commercial.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy, and you got to take what you can get.
Well, he had it rough too, because the being a composer, it's really difficult. It's easier, I feel like, if you've had prior success with a musical, like the guys who did A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which is a huge deal with like theater people, did a musical a couple of years ago called The Flamingo Kid, and the music I thought was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it didn't make that Broadway transfer for one reason or another, and part of that is because it's hard to come up with original music that still holds people's attention, but also like Flamingo Kid was a movie musical, and how many of fucking those are there?
Yeah.
Like Tick Tick Boom hit this really unique chord because it's just the guy writing it. It's just his story. It's how fucking hard it is turning 30 and having very little, if anything, accomplished that you wanted to in your life. It's navigating the waters with your love, like with this person who you've spent time with, and his best friend giving up the fucking acting career to go into advertising. That shit happens too. Like super talented fucking people just kind of fold their hand because they're like, I don't have the time to wait for this. Like, it's so good, man. It's
a great movie. Whether you like musicals or not, it's a great movie.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda fucking directed it.
If you ask me, I think that's Garfield's best movie.
Yeah, you think so?
If I genuinely believe that might have been his best performance.
You didn't love Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Listen, I liked Garfield in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I did, but I genuinely think some people, I mean, obviously, it's easy to get away with certain shit in Marvel movies and stuff like that. Because they're more worried about the action, the dialogue. You don't need to sweat as much.
Right.
Maybe in a few scenes, but you notice it. I was watching. I made a big deal out of it. I made a fucking TikTok. I made it such a big deal. And fucking Hawkeye on the show, he literally texts someone in the elevator, but he texts like every key but what was said in the text. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? You gotta make it look real. Otherwise, don't show the phone. Just show that he's texting somebody and then click send. Like, he literally clicked like W exclamation mark this that this and he just clicked send, but he didn't even click send. He just clicks the middle of the screen. You know what I mean?
Oh my
it's like something like that. Like, and I haven't been in plays or anything, but I'm big into noticing that shit. And I'm a really big, like, I love critiquing movies and all that shit. So that stuff bothers me. But I will say, leading up to the podcast, I did the little promo video. I'm in a robe,
yeah,
and I made like a few lines that I wrote,
yeah,
and I
Great job, by the way.
yeah, thank you. And I botched it so many like if I had a blooper video and he made it, there's so many times where I'm in the fucking robe and I'm walking, and then all of a sudden I just completely blabber and I go fuck. so imagine if me introducing the thing is just you see me. So welcome to fuck. I just sound like blah 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 blah, and I'm god damn it, I fucked up, and I just sorry Lord, but you know what I mean. But yeah, dude, I know we're a little pressed on time because I know Abel's got to get going. I would love to have you back again.
Dude, please.
This was so fucking funny.
Dude.
I think this is the most I've laughed.
Yeah.
I think this is the most I've laughed on an episode, but you definitely killed it. I'm so sorry my dogs had to interrupt. Next time, they shouldn't be a problem, even though I do love my dogs.
We're going to give them office chairs so they can sit.
Yeah. nah, it's because, you know, I've been home alone with them, you know, fam's out on vacation, so.
Damn, they left you here alone?
No, I was on vacation before them.
Got you.
Yeah, so they're where I just was.
You flew from Florida for me, bro? Why would you do that?
Yeah, no, but you know, they're doing good. But next time, you know, they shouldn't be barking or making it as big a deal.
No worries.
But with that said, I do appreciate you. I appreciate you, Abel, for your time. I appreciate those who are watching, listening. I don't want to sound like that corny fucking guy, but please, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, do what it is, whatever you got to do. Your appreciation does not go unnoticed, and it would really help me out. But with that said, I got fucking school coming up next week, and you know, I'm actually maybe looking forward to it. We'll see. You know, almost done with that, but I hope everyone has a wonderful day, whenever day you're listening. You know, I can't guarantee because I'm not gonna say today's Friday and this comes out on a Tuesday. So you know, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And with that said, ciao for now.